What are your first names?
Adanya is my wife. Adanya. I'm Helena.
How would you characterize this community? Just, I don't know, if have you been living outside before in other situations where you were without a
No,
home?
this is actually our first time, So we were renting before, and our situation got kind of difficult. And so, like, long story short, this is kind of where we ended up, due to our addiction, and then due to the lack of resources in the community as well. Because obviously, you see the resources get kind of taken up pretty fast around here,
Yeah,
and then they're taken up by people that don't, really utilize them in the way that they're supposed to.
that's kind
So,
of the two follow questions. Like, one, how long have you been here?
about a month.
Yeah.
About a month.
Okay. And I see you got food, so
Yeah.
people are donating food.
Yeah. Oh, they
stuff,
donate a lot. That's been one of the really great things about here, and I see it's a lot different than the other places as well. Is they have the tents, and they have all the resources here. And I don't see that anywhere else. Like, they have the food tent, your medic tent. They have showers across the park. So, but
Was it economic issues, addiction issues that kind of had you?
well, I just recently got out of prison, and so there was that, and then the lack of support I got from the state on helping me find housing, getting out.
Yeah.
And so I was renting then from like somebody, and then that fell through. Obviously, it just all revolved around addiction.
Yeah.
And then me and my wife recently are like sobered up, and so it's just like getting from here to there now with like a sober mind frame. It's just we're
Yeah.
trying to find our way through like this big puzzle here. I think 90% of it is all addiction.
So talk about resources. You said there aren't enough. What would be like? What would help you immediately? Like if there was this thing, I'd be able to get out of here and
Housing, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're more or less trying to help you survive here than helping you like survive in the world. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. Say
So,
more.
they're just trying to get you by while you're here, more or less, not providing the things you need to move on from this place. So there's that big gap there. So it's keeping people stuck here in their well, and it's fine, but other than that, that's as far as it goes. So I don't know where the solution to their problem would be.
Yeah,
Obviously
tough.
there's a big solution. Anybody could see it, but where's that solution going to come from?
Are there resources that are available that people aren't taking advantage of?
I have no idea. I just know anything that gets thrown our way that's going to help us in our, goals and our plan, we jump right on it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do are others here slower to do that though because they kind of just like kicking it?
Yeah, of course. It's like 80% of the people here, they probably just like the place to hang out, that they don't get kicked out, so yeah.
Are there programs, resources that you can take advantage of to make steps out of here?
You're going to have to go out and find those yourself.
Yes.
And what program will fit for you and, the people around you, your loved ones. So, we go to a certain clinic that helps us, with therapy and medication and all that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
good.
So we, and these are people we trust at this clinic, and they work really well for us. And,
Good.
we got married in January, and they're
Uh-huh.
really supportive of, like, our marriage. And, so it's like just finding a place to get in where it works for you.
Yeah. So it's like the next step, if you get the therapy and the sobriety and get all that, then it's housing, right? Like that's
Yes,
kind of the next
of
thing.
course. Yeah, because
And
now
is-
you're going to be in the right mind frame to
Yeah.
achieve all of that.
Is there a shortage of housing, or is there like just are you on a wait list, or what's kind of keeping you from getting an apartment or whatever?
Well, first off, we're felons. So that's like the main thing. I mean, our income isn't like, our income works to get a place and to keep up at it every month. But it's the fact that we're felons, and then I don't know, and I think that it's just a felony thing, really.
I knew people that were able to get on Section 8 housing or GRH or something like that, but there was a wait list, and maybe they didn't want to jump at it because it took some of their Social Security money away, something like that.
Wow.
And
Well, I
this-
guess then your benefits get weighed out. What do you want? Do you want more money, John, or do you really want a place to live?
What would you
So,
choose?
Of
Place
course,
to
a place
live.
to live. Oh my God, that's heavenly right now.
Yes.
You could take all my money every month, leave me broke on my ass as long as my rent was paid every month. That's all we want. That's it.
Housing.
Yeah, housing. And then from there, the other like doors will open. to schooling and jobs and all
Yeah,
this
what are
because
your
you have a
goals?
place to lay your head every
like
month.
what do you hope to do when you grow up?
Well,
you know?
obviously, anybody could say, you want to get a job and, do all this, and we do. We would really love, a good paying job, But school,
just to be able to make the ends meet, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To just be able to
Yeah.
have your house and have your job, ends meet from your employment,
yeah.
Yeah.
Not having to depend on anybody and to be able to take care of your kids and, and like.
What kind of work would you be willing to do or want to do?
Well, we talk about that a lot, huh,
Yeah,
Bum?
I'd take anything. I'd take some dishwashing because I'm a felon.
Yeah.
I'd also take anything,
Yeah. But then it's like the schooling part, that was something we talk about a lot just because I think going to school for both of us would allow them doors to open a little bit further.
Education.
Yeah, education, because we're felons. I think the schooling key would be that would be our key into getting better than what, is handed to us as felons.
What would you like to study and be as for a career?
Wow, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we talk about, huh, Bum?
I'll take anything to do with helping people.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that. I'm an amazing person. I mean, employment. I mean, I even did some freaking cleaning up buildings. You know what I'm saying?
She has a really strong work ethic.
Yeah.
When it's given to her, she does.
Well, there's a shortage of just good workers out there.
Yeah.
So I hope someone gives you a chance real soon.
Really? Oh
Me
my
too.
God. Big arrow pointed towards us, we need it.
We're them people.
Are there people going around getting to know all the people that stay here and from social services and helping people connect people with what they need?
Yeah. I have no idea.
We kind of stick to ourselves
Yeah, we do.
because in
We're not
these
here to
times-
make friends.
No. We're here to handle our business. We're honestly homeless, and that's the first time I've said that, and
All right, last question. So when I was walking up here, there's a bunch of guys in the intersection, and it looked like they were about to fight. Just be straight. Is there just a lot of fighting, a lot of difficult, a lot of arguing, a lot of
You hear a lot at nighttime.
drama going on?
Yeah.
At nighttime, you hear all the weirdest shit ever. Fighting, and it's you just hear the weirdest shit. People drunk, chanting, screaming. It's just weird over here after nighttime. It is. It's weird.
But at the same time, that's when you learn to stick to yourself. At first you don't want to be like that. Of course, you're like, here you need this or here you need that. But then at the same time, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
don't let
Have
nobody.
people
around.
been hurt seriously?
I think we've seen more overdoses than farther than people being hurt.
Yeah, you mentioned that right on.
Yeah. Well, no, my wife, she.
That's right, you mentioned that.
Yeah,
So
she gave some, in 1 week, saved 3 people's lives in 1 week.
you give Narcan to people who are overdosing on heroin.
Mouth to mouth
Yeah,
also.
and mouth to mouth.
The aid that was given for around here was way too slow, and
Yeah, she just. What else? Anybody would do that, especially if you have the knowledge of how to do it, and whatever, in which we do.
Well, it looks like you're doing what you want to do out there, here,
Yeah.
the service.
Yeah,
No,
really.
Yeah,
It
service
takes
work.
a lot out of her.
I never
though.
thought of it like that.
Yeah. It takes
this
a ton out of her, though.
You may never get better experience helping people than your time here right
Yeah.
now. How do people feel that live here and they hear the noise and stuff? Are they getting hey, this has got to change?
We've heard the complaints, just not from them, but we've heard complaints to other people that they hate it.
And then what about dealing? Where there's drugs, there's dealers. So are dealers coming through here and
Yeah,
selling?
obviously. You could paint it out yourself, obviously, but it's the fireworks, the fighting, the cars up and down the street.
A lot of music.
Is it hard to sleep at night?
Yeah.
My wife doesn't get any sleep at all. Yeah. She doesn't. She's very protective, and it's when you hear all that weird shit at night, who can, she can't sleep through that. You can't shut a comfortable eye and sleep good,
I heard about that girl, that 14-year-old that was assaulted. Was that over here or was
Oh,
it
that
on the
was
other
over-
side?
What?
We read that, remember? Read it in the paper.
Yeah. I've just been keeping kind of close eye and hearing what they've been putting in the papers and how people feel about it. That's always what I want to know because we stay here. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know how they feel about us, honestly, and this is the first time we actually got to speak to somebody. It's crazy.
If it's so hard to sleep here, why do you stay here? Because this is where all the resources are?
Well, honestly, this is where it brought us. I stumbled across a church, and I asked the woman for help.
Housing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for housing. If she knows anybody with housing or how I go about getting on a housing list, course, everything shut down because of COVID and things like that. So I was like asking out of nowhere, and I asked if, you know, maybe they have a tent, you know, and just stumbled across.
Yeah, and sure enough, she lives like 2 blocks away from here, and she gave us a 10, and like she stops and like sees us, and like they're really great.
Okay,
It's really
good.
great people, like really great people.
Great, great.